Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. The truth is, folks, as much as you guys have loved us and hate us, the truth is you don't deserve us. You do not deserve the work that we put in. You do not deserve the smiles that we bring to the people. You do not deserve the entertainment that we bring to you on a weekly basis. You know who does deserve it? Those on the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZab. Over there, you could be getting this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else, along with the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, and more. How is that for a Patreon chill out?
Wow, that was impressive. I love it. This is an interesting time. Santi, don't you feel exposed?
I do.
Don't you feel raw? Don't you feel a little bit wounded that your Superman, your hero, cut right through you, looked dead in your eye, and said, "You're the problem. It's your fault."
You know what I felt like? Look, when I wear John Cena gear, I don't feel dumb because it's just like, it's John Cena. You know, like I'm here to support John. I'm at a wrestling show or whatever.
First name John.
John. Okay. He's first name now. You know, he doesn't get the whole thing anymore. And for the first time, I had a light shined at me, and I realized how stupid I looked. I realized how dumb I looked in head to toe in green gear. And honestly, I loved it. I loved the promo. I loved how he made me feel. I felt like a jackass. I felt like a jerk. I felt worthless. I felt meaningless. Like he said, you don't matter anymore. And I was like, dang, bro, I believe it. And then he broke up with me. Man. That was ruthless. Ruthless aggression.
I think the biggest victim of it all is the kid. That poor kid. Now he's the John Cena heartbreak kid. Dude, that kid. Oh, I hope that's a plant. You know what I mean? For the kid's sake, that was a plant.
I don't think so. I doubt it. I think the poor kid's a meme from here on out.
There's that guy. There's the Undertaker face guy. I think my favorite underrated one is the AEW CM Punk guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He's like that. That's my guy.
There's Angry Miz Girl now as well. Remember that one? That one was a good one. That was a great one.
It was a great one. That's a great one. Forever in lore. I have to say though, that wasn't a heel promo.
Lot of things to dive into with this promo. Now, before we do, I know I already did it. Don't forget, you could actually be getting this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else over on patreon.com/SantiZab, where you get the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, and so much more extra content that never appears on YouTube for just $5. For $5, you get all of the content that we produce. It is not separated by tiers. It is $5. Now, if you did want to go to the $15 tier, you do become a producer of the show with your credits and your name read out at the end of the show, and you get to join us once a month for movie night. Sancho, what movie did we watch this past Friday?
Chaperone. Yes.
It's not Chaperone, it's The Chaperone. And we had the most amount of people that we've ever had.
30 people, yeah.
Yeah, 30 people with us for that watch along. That was great.
Big crowd. It's getting bigger. It's like doubling, but considering it's like late night viewing, I love it.
It's at like midnight on a Friday, so
I know, right?
We've collected the people that have nothing better to do on Friday night to watch The Chaperone.
Chaperone.
All right, so
Chaperone.
I'm not biting into this bait that it's The Chaperone. It's not Chaperone.
With Triple H, again, if you don't know, this movie it is a Triple H movie. That he's the star of the movie alongside Ariel Winter. So it was very, very fun little
You could tell who was the actual actor in that, because Ariel Winter was so much better than Triple H as in their acting endeavors. But you were mentioning that John Cena's promo was not a heel promo, so let me hear you out.
Oh, it's a safe place.
Yes. Anything related to John Cena is a safe place, brother. Anything related to the GOAT, anything related to the champ, anything related to John is allowed.
Dean. One thing I want to point out is I try to find myself like how can I relate to this promo? Like, what is happening? And the first thing that came to mind was it felt like a crash out. This wasn't a promo to sell Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. This was a crash out from John Cena about the 25 years and what he's going through now. He starts off with the whole thing with his tweet. Woo, woo, woo. When someone's properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. Now, if you know John Cena in his entire social media presence is that he never tells you what things are. He never tells you what they mean. Everything is this interpretation for you. He lays it out there. But this time, Santi, he's able to unbox this tweet, unbox what he means, and he lays it all out that essentially is, I know who I am, and I don't need anyone's approval, while you always seek your approval from outside. You know, you need a hero to look up to. You need someone to validate your criticism, your opinions on the internet, which is quite interesting because here we are, right? You have all these outside factors who determine who you are. Meanwhile, I'm grounded. Then he starts off the entire promo, Santi, with, I'm not a babyface, I'm not a heel, I'm a human being. And then proceeds on the crazy crash out. I like to, when I looked at the entire thing, is he broke it down in 3 different things. He broke it down to his career, then he broke it down with his relationship with the audience, and then he was pivoting into Cody before Cody came out, where he talked about the new toy, old toy. What I kind of linked it to or relate to this, it reminds me of when walk down this road for me for a second, when a streamer or a celebrity crashes out and says things like, my job's harder than a 9 to 5. I'm dealing with these issues, and the audience cannot relate to it because there is a difference of lifestyles, right? When John Cena says, I'm a victim, I've been abused for 25 years, the knee-jerk reaction to hearing this man say these things, they booed, but it's like, you're rich, you're a celebrity, you have everything at your disposal. I bought this for you and you entertained me. I bought a ticket, right? So it's a quite interesting kind of thing because it felt like I was reading a long Twitter post of a crash out from a celebrity, or in my world, in our realm, a streamer or a YouTuber. It was a very interesting thing to go down the path. And I think structurally, like I mentioned, the 3 different things, I thought it was a great kind of like a segment for John Cena to get in his realm. And that's not even John Cena at his peak. He's not even unleashed his full power, dude.
He doesn't even have somebody across from him to destroy, right? He was kind of destroying the theoretical, right? The things that have existed around him but aren't material. Like there's no individual to really take out your anger on. It's just an entity, which was the WWE universe. I think that it's going to be much better when he's actually across the board from Cody Rhodes. In fact, I was actually nervous for Cody Rhodes when Cody got out there. I'm like, oh, please don't bury him, John, because John has that tendency. I don't think that he would do it to Cody, but we've seen him do it to those that can't really match up to John Cena on the microphone, with Austin Theory and with Solo Sikoa. But I do believe that this was a quick crash course reminder that this is a guy that is in the holy trinity of mic workers of all time. You know, like I think a lot of people forgot how good John Cena is, not only in the things that he was saying and how fluid he was and how intense and how real feeling it felt, but think about the difference between John Cena and The Rock for a second in that scenario. The Rock would allow the crowd to take over and honestly hijack the whole thing. He would allow the crowd to do their chant for too long and then do nothing with that chant. John Cena allows the chant, and then in his incredible ability to improv, changes his promo to what they were just chanting. And I'm sure, you know, there is a roadmap of what the promo is supposed to say that he eventually gets back to. But think about how awesome it was as to how he brought Cody Rhodes into the promo when they started chanting for Cody. He started talking about that's the new toy, the guy you're eventually going to abuse, blah, 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 blah. That to me is a special skill, to be able to be under the barrel of a gun of one of the rowdiest crowds that I've seen ever, if I'm being honest with you, and be able to improv and take bits of the things that they're saying and incorporate it into your promo while still feeling like you're being fluid and still keeping a narrative structure with your beginning, middle, end with the story that you're telling. To me, that was a masterclass, an actual masterclass in improv, in acting, in promo skills. This was the crash course reminder to the new fans that didn't get to watch John Cena, and to the lapsed fans and to the ones that forgot just how good John Cena is on the microphone, because there's a reason why people are always say CM Punk, John Cena, Paul Heyman. We've been seeing CM Punk cook on the mic over the last year, and yeah, you would agree. Yeah, this is one of the best mic workers of all time. Same with Paul Heyman. John Cena, whenever he's been appearing on TV over the last couple of years, has been these one-off appearances where he doesn't really get a great sparring partner, on the mic, like Solo Sikoa and Austin Theory just weren't it. And you saw what happened to those two when John Cena even unleashed a little bit of what he's capable of. It's either that or it's just been like really one-dimensional stuff, like, hey, champ is here, London WrestleMania, things like that. But when he's allowed to unleash and when he's allowed to be the holy trinity of mic workers that he is, oh my God, is he incredible. I thought that promo was so good, but I also agree with you that I think it's only going to get better. I know a lot of people were bummed that Cody was only out there for 3 minutes. This wasn't Cody's moment. This was the unveiling of John Cena. This was removing the curtain on what John Cena has been thinking for the past 20 years, and it required 20 minutes. Did you feel like any of those minutes were wasted?
No, not at all.
Not at all, right?
No, I recently watched it multiple times, and I was able to absorb it more stuff each time, and it flowed so eloquently. I mean, the whole thing about the promo is, like I mentioned, I think it was building up to Cody's part so well, because it made Cody look so good. Like John Cena being whiny, I think he filled that role. He was like, I understand that I need to be a whiny character here so that when Cody Rhodes comes in and calls me out on it, it's going to hit. And it hit. It was like a setup to a punchline. And I think what a lot of people in those other feuds that you mentioned, Solo Sikoa, Austin Theory, he serves a role, and in that role, I'm here to tear you down so that when I lose, it looks more brutal. Like, you violently beat me down because I was such a pest to you on the promos. That's why he got destroyed by Solo Sikoa with the 18 spikes, because he crossed the line against Solo Sikoa in that promo, and Solo justifiably hit him with those spikes. Remember that time where he was supposed to go up against The Undertaker? And The Undertaker, well, he did go against Undertaker at Mania, and he said the most craziest things against Taker, and he was destroying Taker on the microphone. And then come Mania, he got squashed because he justified by saying, I was talking so much trash to you. I guess I should lose to you in this way, right? So I'm thinking that the entire promo, yes, it was him being whiny, but it was the foundation to, all right, now we know where this John Cena is coming from. We know what his moral compass is pointed this direction. It's pointed south. And we know everything that what he says in the future is based on this thing that for 25 years, he was abused. He was a toy. You're never satisfied. And then when you want, like, he changes and he satisfy you, you go, well, what do I get? You take. When John Cena is becoming a heel or he's a human being, the first thing you go, oh, what is he going to wear? What's his music going to be? What's his new moveset? So this is a guy that's been under a microscope for so many years that he just finally, like I said, crashed out. What's interesting, though, Santi, is that I've seen this John Cena before. You remember that guy that it's a viral clip where he gets videotaped? He videotapes John Cena at a store, and then John Cena approaches him when the guys ask for a photo. That's this John Cena.
This is Total Divas.
Right,
This is the Cena Nikki Bella was married to.
Yes.
Now it all makes sense. Hey, listen, though. You mentioned something that I want to unpack. You mentioned that his moral compass is facing south. I want to kind of push back on that.
In the opposite direction from what he has.
I disagree. This is where I disagree. Is the moral compass of an individual how you see and how you interact with others, or how you are as a person internally and how you are? If you think about it, the only thing that changed from this John Cena was how he has a relationship with the audience, with the fans, because he didn't change his entrance theme. He didn't change his attire. And he said, I'm done trying to give you guys the things that you think that I need to do or that you think you deserve. You think that I need to change things about me simply because we don't like each other? No, that's still me. I'm still a human. I'm not all of a sudden twirly mustache bad guy and I'm changing my music and I'm now coming out with black and white colors simply because I'm a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I just don't like you. He even said, I still live and breathe hustle, loyalty, respect. You just buy it on merchandise and pretend like you do it. I did it for 20 years, and it didn't sound like he was changing that mantra. To me, his moral compass is still pointing in the direction of the things that he deems morally correct: hustle, loyalty, respect, being himself. But now it's the relationship with the audience that has changed. Does that now make him a bad guy? I don't know. I feel like in a traditional story sense, perhaps, because we are the audience, right? We are the ones interpreting good guys and bad guys. But when I want to look at it from a more human perspective, you could be a good guy in your real life, and then there's still people that are going to dislike you for being a good guy. Does that make you a bad guy because you dislike that person? It might make you a bad guy to that person, but it doesn't really change your moral compass and how you yourself inwardly can see yourself for who you are. I still think in this scenario, John Cena can and again, this we're definitely overanalyzing this, but I think in this scenario, John Cena can look at himself inward and sleep at night. I didn't do anything that impacts my moral compass. I think the one thing is that they didn't unfortunately dive into was the actual heel turn, the thing with The Rock that we need to know more about. But that promo that we got to me didn't immediately scream, this is a guy that's put aside his morals. They need to dive into that with whatever it is with The Rock for me to fully buy into that, because what I got was a guy, like you said, that crashed out, that is just sick and tired of the situation that he was in, but it didn't change anything about him yet. We'll have to see what The Rock and the selling of the soul, the Travis Scott thing, why he decided to attack Cody Rhodes, that wasn't explored. But that promo was not the place to explore it. That promo was the time to tell us what John Cena's relationship is with us now. And now promos moving forward, now we need to dive a little bit deeper into actually building the narrative between Cody and John Cena, because now we understand what the narrative is between John Cena and the fans.
That's what I said when after the promo was over. I was like, if I had to be hypercritical about this promo, is there's lack of Rock talk. Like, hello, why did you sell your? Like, we wouldn't know that answer, but he could easily go, you don't deserve that answer. I don't need to tell you anything why I do this or why I do that. For the longest time, you never knew that answer why I was this way. It feels like I know people like to compare him to Superman a lot. But I think this version is not Superman. It's more like Omni-Man. You ever seen Invincible?
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm caught up, baby. Oof.
What Omni-Man, for those of you who don't know, is like Superman, but he's been on this earth for so long that he kind of eventually saw everybody lesser than him completely. Not only, with strength and all that stuff, but morally. And I think this is the John Cena, is that he sees everybody beneath him. Then, for real, who's to say all the stuff I persevered, John? You think just because you're a superstar in the WWE with the words hustle, loyalty, respect planted on you that you could claim that you could die on that hill whenever you want to? Hello? What about you, Santi? You told him. You said 600 days of constant YouTubing. But it is interesting how he said, he sacrificed the 10 years, personal moments. And I think every wrestler does that. So I am very, very excited to see what he's going to go to. But the Omni-Man also that I see is that he spared Cody so much so, right? The only, what I had in my mind, what I wanted to call it, I call it cheap theater. The only cheap theater part in this entire thing, and I know I'm being nitpicky, is when Cody said, enough.
Enough!
He did it to Kevin Owens. And I get why he did it to Kevin, but it did not make sense.
Does
to do
not
it to
land
John
with
here.
Cena. Does not land with Cena at all.
It's like it's a catchphrase that Cody is trying to get over that did not hit here, because it was so jarring to me, because John goes, "Hey kid," and then stuff.
You know what would have hit more? If the first words out of Cody's mouth were "fine speech." Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that would have hit. But like I said, we are being nitpicky, but I think we're being nitpicky about the things that this promo wasn't about. It was not about Cody and John Cena yet. It's going to be, and it has to be. And I do think that when it comes to Cody Rhodes, there has to be more than just you're being a whiny bitch. And I know this because we didn't like it when it was Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre's catalyst for their feud. There needs to be more than I don't like the things that you're saying, you're being whiny. No, we need to unpack things more. But I get that Cody was only there for 3 minutes. The Cody aspect of this had to be a lot more surface level because at the end of the day, this was Cena's moment. Even when Cody left, it was still Cena's moment. That like thunderous boos and singing of "Na Na Na Na" goodbye as he was walking out. That was a moment, dude. See, that to me was because like, yeah, they turned on Cena throughout the whole promo. They were booing him the whole time, but then just seeing Cena without a mic walking away to that sound, that to me was the signaling of like, heel Cena is over as a heel, and he ain't getting cheered anywhere.
Why'd you do this to him? The people of Belgium are making him more evil. Like, stop, leave this man alone. What was really cool about the promo that I did enjoy was those moments, like you mentioned, where he was like, "You see, these idiots speak. Brilliant. They understand. They're proving my points with every breath that they take." And it was really fun to see. Like the very beginning of the promo comes out, boo, and then he's like, "You don't want to hear what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave." And then they go, "Oh no, don't leave, please. Cut your promo, please." And he's like, "All right, I'll pay." And then boo, and then he does it again. I'm like, I love the little things that John Cena knows that he has the audience in the palm of his hand. I wonder what it felt for him to be able to nail that promo, because how can you boo John Cena after he did the coolest thing that we always wanted, right? Oh, I see. Call himself a victim, call himself an abuser, because like I mentioned, that surface level reaction of rich versus poor, the have and have nots. Like, what do you mean you're victim abused? Do you see me? I paid $600 to be here. That type of stuff. To see you, and you tell me I suck? Wait a minute.
Bro, in Brussels, it was like $600 for nosebleeds, brother. Yeah, dude, I know we have a lot of European listeners. We're so sorry that it costs this much for you, because it is crazy, the prices that you guys are paying. Listen, I ultimately, I walked away loving this promo. I thought that this was fantastic, and it was everything that it needed to be. Obviously, you could take it with a truck full of salt if you want, because I'm a big John Cena fan. But I loved the fact that he called out the invisible joke. You know, I love the fact that he called out the "Let's Go Cena sucks" crowd and individually bit into them. And then the like you said, the poor kid that became a meme where his dad dropped like $200 on that Cena merch, clearly like right at the gate, only for it to turn him into a meme. Everything about this hit the way that it needed to hit. And not that I want to even so much as bring this into a comparison, but this is what the New Day has been trying to do poorly. And now John Cena has demonstrated the blueprint as to how to do it properly. This is what this has been the New Day shtick, right? We are the victims. You guys have been so bad to us, but they've done it in such a poor way. I hope, honestly, that they take some notes from what John Cena did and just straight up copy it. We already saw Kofi Kingston tweet about it, right? Saying that like no lies told, everything that Cena said was right, all this stuff. I hope that they take notes from this, because this is the way that you do the whiny woe is me promo and having it work. And also, The Rock needs to take notes as to how to play the crowd. This is playing the crowd. The Rock just like sniffing the air and like basically forcing chants. Like The Rock will hear like a tiny chant and then like give attention to it to try and wait for the entire arena to explode into that chant. That's not playing the crowd. That's forcing the crowd. Cena, that was playing the crowd, brother. Oh my God. The man had them eating out of the palm of his hand. He's so good, Sancho. He's so good.
He's so good. But why did he sell out to that man that you said
We don't know.
sucks?
We don't know. And maybe we don't deserve to know.
Look at you now. Look at you now.
Still wearing Cena merch. Still wearing it.
Let's go Cena. I think the best part of it all is that he called out all the true fans, dude. That was amazing to me that he did that. But I think as well, when you look into Cody's side of it, he did what we wanted, where he said, "That's not you, John. I don't want to face this John Cena at WrestleMania. I want the real John Cena, whoever this is. I don't want to see." So I think Cody nailed what he needed to do. I'm excited to see, and I cannot wait to see what John Cena really has to say. I mean, I'm hoping he doesn't hit him hard with the dad stuff. I think everyone's gone down that path so many times that it's kind of like already worn out. I want to kind of see where he attacks him as a champion. That'd be interesting. I hope he doesn't bring up Stardust too much. He could, because then there is some things with John. I mean, the Dr. Thugonomics, the Ruthless Aggression, the prototype. There's a little bit of inklings to that. What I want to kind of look at too is, man, I wish Bray Wyatt was around. Not just because Bray Wyatt was the perfect catalyst or the vehicle to kind of break down John Cena's world. And I'm hoping John Cena references Bray Wyatt at some point, because it was Bray Wyatt was the guy that was truly knocking on this doorstep. And he was the guy that was literally trying to free John Cena, right? He was like, dude, John, I know who you are. This person that you're trying to think, the whole world's in your hand, John. It's right here. And we finally get to see what Bray Wyatt was trying to show the world. And remember, he held out the chair. He's like, come on, John, do it. And what did John do when he had the opportunity? He hit Cody Rhodes right in the balls. The old Tomatonga, you know what I mean? The old Tama hit. So I want that. I hope Bray Wyatt is included in this world in some way. Because Bray Wyatt, like I said, show the world, start knocking on this premise early.
Mm-hmm. It's too bad that the Wyatt Six are so beneath Cena when it comes to like the card and the pecking order and how they're booked.
Yep.
Because it would have been interesting if the WWE did a good job of booking the Wyatt Six to be this planetary threat to the WWE, where they could be a threat to world champions and whatnot and to main eventers. But, you know, they're a threat to mid-carders. And even then, that's debatable because they lost the feud to the Final Testament.
They're not even there anymore.
It's too bad, because if they were propped up to where they could realistically go up against John Cena at some point during this retirement tour, you could unpack a lot of the things that you're talking about here, right? A lot of the Bray Wyatt isms, that it was Bray that really was the first one to roll the snowball down the hill. And it just so happens that it took 10 years for the ball to get to the village and finally destroy everything on its path. But it was Bray Wyatt in 2015 that rolled the ball and then rolled him even more in the Firefly Funhouse. And then here we are with this destructive snowball that's just tearing through everything. I do hope that there is something related to Wyatt, because that is where it started. Some people will try and say it was Kane in 2012 with Embrace the Hate. No, that sucked. We were retconning that. That didn't happen. It's Bray Wyatt that started it. Okay, folks. Now, I'm curious, from your perspective, does this, between now and WrestleMania, does this require the Rock and Travis Scott angle? Or do they run with this purely on the Cena side of things? Because there's a lot of ammo that doesn't require the Rock and Travis Scott. There's so much, but I need it in some capacity, me personally.
You got to have them because they're going to be part of the turn back to face. You can't have Cody. You can't have Cody and John Cena. How is John Cena going to prove that he's a good guy again? Right? He's going to have to do action. He could either do it by not taking the easy way out, like say at Mania he has Cody and they Rock and Travis Scott, they come in and they interfere and Cody's down and Cena just goes, oh, I'm not going to take this way. I'm going to do it the right way. But without Rock and Travis Scott, there's nothing for John to fight up against himself. Like there's no two forces to join in. The only thing that keeps bothering me every time I'm thinking about The Rock and Travis Scott and thinking of that aspect is what The Rock said. It doesn't always have to end in the match. So does that mean it doesn't always have to end in any kind of physical action, altercation? Because if that's the case, then to go up against your question here is that no, The Rock and Travis Scott would be just this entity, this thing this like a moral thing that John Cena is going to be dealing with, and they don't have to be around. But it's a shame because they should be around. It would have been awesome if Rock, Cena, and Travis Scott came out together and not necessarily take the ring together. Just have John Cena go out and then like they all appear as a faction and then John Cena just goes out by himself. But you understand why they didn't do that when you think of John Cena's promo, because he said, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to keep doing me. You're the ones that changed, like we talked about. So I don't know, dude. If that's where John Cena's coming from, like, I'm not changing a damn thing, I'm not even coming out with a faction, then I don't think we're going to get Rock and Travis Scott around. Why do you want them so much?
Because they're the catalyst, right? They were the one final push, right? That we reference here so often because we apparently just quote the Dark Knight whenever we can. It would feel not complete if they aren't in this in some way, shape, or form. But I'm not saying that it's needed for this to be good, because there's, like I said, there's already so much ammunition. Look, I know we don't want John Cena to dive into the low-hanging fruit, like the Dusty stuff, the Stardust stuff, but there is a low-hanging fruit that makes sense for this story, which is Cody Rhodes quitting, which is Cody Rhodes leaving the WWE when Cena was the one to never quit, blah, 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 blah. It was all this adversity. I stuck through it regardless. You faced 1 second of adversity and you left and you tried to destroy this company by starting the competition, whatever it might be, right? There's stuff there that
He's
can be
explored. He's going to say AEW.
If there's anyone that can get away with it, it is John Cena, 100%. What are you going to do? Fire him? Right?
He's gonna say Tony Khan. He's gonna talk about Kenny Omega. He's gonna say all the no words. John.
Yeah. If there's a narrative and an individual that can get away with bringing up that stuff without it feeling forced, shoehorned, or corny, it's John Cena. Because of the story that's being told, the fact that he never quit, and it was all of this not quitting that maybe caused this crash out. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes, amidst his crash out in Stardust, he just up and quit. There is stuff there that can be told and explored that could be really, really fascinating.
You think Vince McMahon gets brought up in this? You think Cody goes, well, you were Vince's boy?
I think he could be referenced. I don't think that they'll ever say his name. I think that has too much baggage that I doubt Netflix or TKO wants to explore at all.
True. He who should not be named.
It can be like CM Punk, when CM Punk's like, go ahead. Who chose you? You were the chosen one of who? Say his name.
Because like when you look at it, John Cena says, and I win, and I win, and I win, and I win, and you hated me for it. And good old Super Cena. So that it's kind of there. I mean, we know who made him win countless times over and over again. But I'm quite interested to see what's the first blow that John Cena is going to take to Cody, like we mentioned. And if The Rock, I think that's the missing piece of this little puzzle. Just to send us, if it were a rocket ship, we got all the fuel. I just need that spark, and the spark is, why did you side with The Rock? And I thought he'd be like, you know what, Dwayne was right. And Santi's getting delivered delicious goods. Look, what is that? What is that?
It's an omelet, and then there's a bagel with strawberry, cream cheese, and bananas cut up on it.
What are we doing? Are we bulking up? Are we getting diced like a Julian salad? What are we doing here?
No, I'm getting diced right now. I'm getting diced.
Oh, yeah?
It's a high protein breakfast, and then the rest of my meals are low in carbs but high in protein. So it ends up being around 2,200 calories for the whole day. It's a nice little cut, but keeping me beefy with my protein.
Wow. Are you going to do it? Why haven't you given the audience what they wanted? Do you feel that you're a victim, that every time you post, you get hundreds and hundreds and thousands of views, and there's only one thing that the people want, and yet you refuse? What gets you off your high and mighty horse here? They just want you to oil up, Santi. It's a little oil. You're too good for them to oil up for your fans that have been supporting you countless times, that go to your streams, that come to the Patreon, and all they want from you is to oil up, and yet you don't. And here you are with your same intros, with your same outros, with your same music, with your same thumbnails, and you don't give them what they want. Why not, Santi? Huh?
It's always about what they want. It's always about give. What can I take from Santi? It's always, when's the next stream? When's the next daily upload? When are you oiling up? But when have you ever cared about me? When have you asked about how I feel? When have you asked, how are you, Santi? It never has crossed your mind, because all you care about is what I can provide to you. You think that I am your dancing corporate monkey that should give you what you want because you believe that you deserve it. You believe that you deserve that I need to be oiled up. You believe that if I oil up that I'm going to get more views. Well, I'm here to tell you that you and I are done. What you want doesn't matter. I am breaking up with each and every single one of you. Every single one of you that tells me to oil up, we're done. Oh, and the oil up Santi crowd, those jackoffs over there, I've already talked about them. Let's talk about the oil up Santi's a stupid meme. You're part of the problem too, because you ask for other things as well, and you don't even realize you buy Santi merch. Yeah, well, you're not Santi. I'm Santi. I'm the one that's posted for 600 plus days. I'm the one busting his ass. I'm the one selling his mental health for your entertainment, and not once have you asked, how are you, Santi? Was that good?
So I'm Cody Rhodes in this scenario?
Enough!
Oh my goodness. It's gonna be good, dude. It's rare air to be able to have an icon from the past face the current icon. That's sick, dude.
I mean, what was the last time? Like big last time? Rock and Hogan?
Rock and Cena, hello.
That was a little bit different. That was a one-off that was still a one-off. There wasn't this. It didn't feel. I know they did it once in a lifetime. The year-long feud.
Two matches.
Yeah, that felt like a big exhibition in my opinion. Rock and Hogan. That felt like a proper clashing of generations, the clashing of companies, WCW, WWE. That to me is the true icon versus icon that was wrestling, right? When you look at Cena and Rock, it was wrestling versus that guy that used to do wrestling versus entertainment.
So
it's a little bit different.
In your scenario, does Cena get that Hogan in the Silver Dome vibe? Oh, and then all of a sudden the crowd's on Cena's side because Cena's hulking up.
There might be a moment. There might be, dude. Funny enough, it's so interesting that you mentioned this. I wish I could find it, and I think you'd be interested in reading it. In fourth year university, I wrote in fourth year university, you have to write the big papers. I wrote a 50-page thesis, a 50-page paper on the power of nostalgia and how nostalgia can drive human decisions. And not the whole thing, but like a portion of it.
I feel bad for your professor reading this dumb paper.
No, it's a really good paper. I got an A on it. I got an A on it, and it was published in my school journal. So suck my ass. How about that? But there's a portion of it, not the whole thing, because if it was the whole thing, that would be fucking pathetic. But there was a portion of it where
with Hogan,
literally. There was an entire section dedicated to the power of nostalgia and how it drives human emotion and how it drove and shifted human emotion during Hulk Hogan and The Rock. Because if you go back and watch that, man, the crowd just flips upside down, not because Rock does anything bad or heelish, but because Hogan's just like, oh, I'm hulking up, and everybody just goes back to their childhood. So it was a paper about like I dove into like food, smells, things like that, not just wrestling. I just want to clarify.
What was your bibliography there?
WrestleMania. I mean, WWE was in the bibliography. You're right. It had to be.
Oh my God, dude. I can't be a kid these days. And with the power of ChatGPT and all that, brother, you don't understand. When growing up, we had this thing called Cliff Notes. You're right, Santi? You remember Cliff Notes?
Oh, yeah.
You remember Shakespeare for Idiots type of vibe? You know, those kind of books? And I abused that book to oblivion, brother. I would plagiarize that just to get by. Now, we have something where an AI could mimic my writing style and be able to throw things together in a blink of an eye. Woo, man, I don't know how kids do it these days, bro. I don't know how kids. And you tell me that professors and teachers have this AI detection?
Doubt it, liar. Dude, it's the same thing with my dad. We got this bootleg satellite that got like all the channels. It also included all the naughty adult channels. Okay, and my dad, who has no sense of technology whatsoever, he says, I put in a system that sends me an alarm if you go on any of those channels. I'm 12 and I was like, oh my God, no. as soon as he left. No, you don't.
Oh no, Santi. But yeah, dude, it's a completely a tough time to be a student. I don't know how they do it, but it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. I tell you what, buddy.
I'll tell you what, unless you're a Jey Uso fan.
Come on, brother.
It happens. No, I'm not. I don't harp on botches. They happen, but yeah. Unfortunately, even though I don't harp on botches, the internet wrestling community. they build kingdoms out of botches, bro. There's an entire internet series called Botchamania. So the internet, Botchamania. I love Botchamania. The internet loves botches. So we had Jey Uso in this pointless match against Austin Theory. Going into this match, we said it was pointless. And then it was even more pointless when we saw it in person because it was 15 seconds long. And my goodness, this match damaged Jey Uso so much in this road to WrestleMania. Not because of how he won, because, okay, all right, he won great, good, he was dominant, but he won with the worst spear of all time, so bad that Michael Cole called it a crossbody. And then what happened afterwards with the dive over the top rope that was obviously not good. I'm not harping on botches, but like when you compound the already negative sentiment that a lot of people have over this match and this feud and Jey Uso specifically, and you add this bad match, you add this awful ending to the match, and then you add, unfortunately, the dive that just looked terrible. It's just another brick being built in the I hate Jey Uso bandwagon that so many people are carrying online. I'm still not there. I'm not going to say I hate Jey Uso or that he doesn't deserve anything, but this is not good for this feud. This is the last thing that this needed. There was this brawl there at the end, and I thought it was cool. Jey Uso grabbing the title. I'm like, he looked pretty good in it. But even then, it was kind of goofy because he kind of like undressed Gunther. It kind of looked like he took Gunther's towel after showering with the way that he took the title off of him. So I found a lot of things comical that weren't supposed to be comical. And that, I hate that that's where they're at right now with this feud, man. I hate it.
It was like a Dancing with the Stars type of spin out.
It was goofy, man.
Because it makes it goofier because we know it's a Velcro belt too. When he rips it out. Man, dude. It kind of reminds it is a live performance and botches do happen, of course, but you had to know that there was probably a conversation like, come on, man. We're giving you the keys to the car here, brother. You gotta drive us home, man. We put a lot of chips on you, man. You won the Royal Rumble 2025 with the most star-studded ever, and you beat John Cena in a 1v1 in the Royal Rumble, which are huge, man. There was a lot of big fights that happened in those 1v1 Rumbles. I mean, we had Cody versus Gunther just recently in the Royal Rumble in that 1v1. And this is what you're giving us, man? We're putting too much stake into that run. It's kind of, you know what? You deserve a little bite. Go get a little bite of your little breakfast here for a little bit.
I'll grab a bite.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can't let that delicious breakfast get cold that your partner worked on. This reminds me of a man named LA Knight. Just keep eating. Just shut up and keep eating. Shut up and keep eating. Just keep eating. Just keep eating. All right. This reminds me of a man called LA Knight. Well, you keep eating. Where LA Knight was under a microscope, brother, for the longest time. Any botch, any slip up he did, anything where he jumped to the ropes and he almost choked on his own gum for crying out loud. Any of those situations, don't choke yourself. Any of those situations, we were like you mentioned, the LA Knight haters were immediately latched onto. Like, see, he's too old. You can't put a belt on him. His promos are terrible. He's very stereotypical. He wants to be The Rock. He wants to be the Stone Cold. Why are we putting so much eggs and so much investment into LA Knight? And now the shift is now on Jey Uso. The microscope's on him, and he has to perform. So and they know that, he knows that. So it's an unfortunate thing that it's happening on the biggest road to WrestleMania because all eyes are on him. And he's gonna open up Mania, dude. It is what it is, but. Did that look like it hurt, though? Man, he landed on the hardest part of the ring, the apron.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the hardest part of the ring.
Wait, dude, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that was the hardest part of the ring.
The hardest part.
I tried to stop you because I thought you were about to go on an LA Knight Glaze rant.
No.
That
No,
was
no, no.
Sancho. That was a brilliant comparison. Were you
Thank
expecting me to say that? Were you expecting me to? Yeah, that was awesome. It's so true.
I'm under the microscope here in wrestling is cool.
That's true.
Anytime I say my fantasy booking or anytime I give a thought that is the exact same thought as you, I get the roasting.
It's true. It's there's a scene from The Simpsons where I can't remember the context, but these guys with shotguns are hunting down something, and one guy goes, time to take it down. Then he cocks his shotgun, and then another guy goes, yeah, all the way down. And then they roast him for saying that. It's like it was the same thing that the first guy said. It was just said by a guy you don't like.
By the way, dude, you house those things. You got a big wide mouth there.
I got a big old chomper, bro.
Did you just swallow them whole? Did you even chew?
I did chew. I did chew.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of swallowing there.
Would you rather have a shark mouth with the ability with multiple rows of teeth, or like a anteater mouth, like where you just be able to suck it all in, like?
I like the process of chewing.
But you lose your teeth then, because that's what sharks do. They lose their teeth.
Oh, well, you didn't add that to the caveat. You're just changing the rules. Like, do I have the whole physiology of a shark?
Yeah.
Oh, so am I just a shark?
Sure.
So would I rather be a shark or an anteater?
Sure. Dude, anteaters are cool, dude.
I guess I'll take anteater. I'd rather be a land animal.
Yeah. Would it be crazy if a shark became a land animal all of a sudden?
Dude, that's the day I moved to the skies. Game over.
Do you feel like John Cena just became a land shark now? Because like now he's like kind of on the loose. He's running around. He's free to do whatever he wants now. He's free. Imagine. Look, this is what it reminds me of. Okay. Imagine Andy in Toy Story is playing with his toys, and he's like, "I'm not gonna play with Woody anymore," and he puts him down, and then Woody
turns into a shark.
Oh, you're not gonna play with me anymore, huh? This is how you treat me? After all these years, I'm breaking up with you. And that's what John Cena did, dude. He stood up as the toy, like, nah. But yes, LA Knight, Jey Uso, microscope. Sancho West, brilliant.
That they are under a microscope. Every single thing that Jey Uso does that doesn't fit the narrative that he is this Mania main eventer gets compounded and gets a heavier weight to it because of, like you said, he is under this microscope. And unfortunately, this match, the amount of ammunition that this gave the Jey Uso doesn't deserve this spot camp. It was not good. It was not good. Hopefully they're done with A-Town Down Under. Hopefully, in these last 4 weeks, we can actually do something with Jey Uso and Gunther, but it doesn't look that way because next week it's Jey Uso and a mystery partner against A-Town Down Under again. So that's still not done. Do you want to talk about the mystery partner?
Oh, sure. In the perfect, it's what is it always? The simplest answer, right? It's never like the moon that we want.
Say it. Who do you think it is?
It's gonna be Otis.
No, dude, I got a worse answer for you.
Don't do it. Don't give me hype. Don't give me love. Don't make me excited.
This is not going to make you excited. It's going to be, all rise. It's going to be Damian Priest to give Drew McIntyre the ability to go out there and attack Damian Priest in front of a Scottish crowd. It's going to be all rise. You know it is.
I even hate that so much more.
But I'm making sense.
But it's interesting because Damian's under that microscope too. But I don't know why we are fickle. I understand that. You may be in the comments right now and be like, why are they so fickle against Jey? I get it all the time when I talk about Damian. But God, I thought you were going to say Joe Hendry.
No, listen, I actually think it's a disservice if it's Joe Hendry. Can I explain?
By all means, it's the same place.
Would it be a big pop?
Sure.
Of course, it'd be an awesome pop. I think people would like it. However, this is not, one, the time of the year, or two, the type of WWE superstar that you attach this, what is ultimately a meaningless cheap pop that isn't going to grow and develop into anything. And by that, I mean the Royal Rumble winner that should be going to the main event of WrestleMania. Attaching him to a hometown pop of oh my God, Joe Hendry. I thought I forgot his name there for a second, but I said his name and now maybe he'll appear. Attaching him to a big hometown pop of Joe Hendry doesn't help Jey Uso at all. Jey Uso needs the help. He doesn't need cheap one-off pops that are good for one night. Jey Uso needs building towards WrestleMania. Again, would it be cool? Would I love it? Yeah. It'd be weird if it's being attached to the freaking Royal Rumble winner this close to WrestleMania. That's all.
I don't know, man.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be Damian Priest, bro.
It's going to be a Royal Rumble 30 entrance, Rey Mysterio. I feel that the WWE is very addicted to European crowds, where they want that big pop, they want the huge response, and that's why we're here in international on the road to WrestleMania. They want everything that they do just amplified. So it could be they go with that Joe Hendry to be that
But what does that do? What, like honestly, what does that do? Is it just the cool moment?
It's a clip. It's a social media.
But are we really at the point where the Royal Rumble winner has to farm cool moments to help him get over?
Clearly.
That's not good. That's not good.
Don't look at me.
I know. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that's not good. That's the situation we're in.
I'm just a guy watching and clipping and reacting and posting. That's what I'm gonna do if it's Joe Henry. Oh, Joe Henry.
If you're caught, man, you got arms.
You stand up. I never stand up, but that's your thing.
That is my thing.
You do, Santi. You stand up and you're screaming for a goal.
Hey, that's the Latino in me, the football fan, where I just lose control.
I still laugh when you went to the Copa
America.
Yeah, and you're like, go Canada. Canada loses. Go Colombia. Yeah.
Hey, that's the nice thing about having two nationalities. Did I ever tell you about how Canadian fans came out of the tunnel? There's this tunnel at MetLife Stadium that connects MetLife and this mall. And us Canadian fans, we met at the mall. There was like a big group, Facebook group, word got around. So there were that mall was full of Canadians. And then we're in that tunnel and we're like the strongest looking, fiercest force ever. This sea of red. And then we come out of the tunnel and all 5,000 of us are greeted by 70,000 Argentinians going basically, that's cute. Where we were just dwarfed by actual football fans.
Oh, so it's like Jey Uso and the good old Gunther, huh? You're going into the lion's den, huh?
We got Jey Uso there. We even did a flop. we did a spear that looked like a crossbody. Anyways, yeah.
Do you think that the WWE has this pulse on this thing, and they're like, all right, we've tried this, we've tried that, it's not working. Maybe we should keep the belt on Gunther.
There's no way that they don't have their finger on the pulse, right? Like, they aren't blind. They had to have seen that match against Austin Theory and realized that was ass. They might not be enough to keep the belt on Gunther, but it has to be running through somebody's head back there that this experiment at the very least. Right now, there's still a month. That's the thing. There's still a month. But
that's the problem, though. We're getting too much time.
Too much time.
If it was like a shorter amount of time, if Jey did not pick Gunther out the gate, if Gunther didn't attack Jey made him pick Gunther, where he was lying down like, I pick Gunther. Like, if that moment didn't happen, maybe we would not have this kind of long rope to deal with here. And we could have probably had a fast, instant thing wrapped our chamber. Because if you look at it, where Cody and Cena are, much better than where Jey and Gunther are. And I think if you look at the entire card, Jey and Gunther are probably at the lower end of it, considering where everything is falling into place because of that time that they had. That let's throw, this is not working. Alpha Academy. Oh no, it's even. It's on under. No, it's not working. It's even worse.
Joe Hendry, maybe. All rise. Look, they might. I did see on SmackDown that Jimmy may have entered the fold. I was like, that's interesting. Dude, believe it or not, the promo between Jimmy and Gunther
was good.
That was the best part of this whole feud, and it didn't even involve Jey. That's a problem. That is a problem.
What if it was Jey and we didn't know?
Oh man, yeah. Hey, maybe they are reverting back to a tag team. We even had Jimmy Uso say, "I want the U.S. Tag Team Championship."
Oh God, they edited all that, by the way. You guys were able to see that. Yeah, I agree with you. Jimmy and Gunther was great because Jimmy actually feels like he has a base to what he's doing, right? There's like a foundation. You can go ahead and eat while I'm doing this. There's like what Jimmy, if you look at the differences in promos, like Jimmy's not tied to a catchphrase. Yes, he does the yeet thing too, but he's able to organically weave into it as a punctuation point. It's used as an exclamation point when he goes yeet, and he has this intensity, and he looks almost as tall as Gunther in some aspects, the way he stood up to him. And I think if you're gonna make this turn this ship around, you cannot rely on Jey Uso to be this bastion of hope against the evil Gunther. You gotta be that Jey Uso is the underdog that loves family, that fights for his family, and that, like I mentioned in the previous podcast, this is about him taking the belt back to the bloodline. And it's a shame that the bloodline faction is no longer around. It is dissolved into a point that is not even brought up anymore. And it's a bummer because at least Jacob, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, Roman, and Solo, all those guys, they had a path, like their own little ecosystem of booking that they could have worked to. Like, hey, I get to move and be the top of the bloodline. I get to represent my family. I get to provide for my family. So that way it gives them just something to work with when there's nothing to work with when you're by yourself, as of Jey Uso. So that's what I wish. If they're going to lean more into Jimmy, they got to go all in. They got to have Jimmy in some sort of way. I think, like I mentioned, Jimmy appears at Mania. And even, here's the thing, Santi. We could look like idiots. We're prone to be looking like idiots most of the time.
We're pretty good at that.
Because we're pretty good at that. The best. And I know idiots. So the entire time is like...
Some might say that I'm an idiot.
Some may say. Triple H's booking is this. It could be awful. Pops gets it right the night of. And that may be the case, dude, where the emotion, the ring psychology, all that, Jimmy may go in there, and then people go, you see, you were all wrong the entire time.
There's a great example of it in Sami Zayn versus Gunther, where everything about it was bad.
Except Gable vignette. That was sick.
Sure. That was sick.
Rocky.
But then there was the entrance. And then after the entrance, we all went, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Is there a moment that Jey Uso could have during his entrance that could be that Sami Zayn moment that sells us? Because what I'm envisioning, I think it'd be kind of cool if because he already does these back entrances to the ring. He's already doing it. What if along the way he runs into Timu Bloodline? And they dap him up and they get him ready. He runs into Roman. He later, not together, right? Like they're in different portions. And he runs into all of the portions of the family and it ends with Jimmy, right?
Yes.
I'd be like goosebumps, right? Like imagine Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga.
And why not throw The Rock in there too, brother?
Dude, that'd be crazy. Right? I got goosebumps thinking about that. Like there's something about the idea of, especially weirdly enough, Timu Bloodline being the ones that actually kind of get me the most excited. Like we went to war, we fought, but now you're doing this for family. And here we even brought Tongaloa along for this. Yeah. We're all here to dap you up. We still don't like each other, perhaps. But go out there and do it for family. Win for family. Yeah. Would that work for you? And then it's awesome. That would be awesome. That would be the damn it. I'm in again. Damn it.
You would go like, oh, I love my dad. I'm texting my brother.
Oh, Rikishi? Add Rikishi to the entrance?
There's so much they can do. And if and that could be the case, dude. That could be Triple H's style of booking rather than milk big moments like that. Just hit you with like a sledgehammer, pun intended.
The game.
Just hit you with a sledgehammer of like all out of nowhere. It's like the final piece. Like all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is bam. And then you put that piece in and and everything just opens up. You know,
And
black
then,
white
and then
now
all
it's
your
color.
your memories about Alpha Academy and A-Town Down
Yeah.
Under just disappear. They just disintegrate.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Otis-
I would love for Jacob Fatu to gas him up, all gas, no brakes, to hit him with one of
Yeah.
those promos as Jay's coming out. Oh, that'd be so good.
It'd be it would be that thing that I'm talking about, that the bloodline, oddly enough, work always when they're together. Like, they work the best when they're together. Even Roman, as the tribal chief, the what is it called? The RTC. What acronym is he now? The OTC.
He's the
ABC?
no, he's not the OTC. He's the YTC, your tribal chief.
Jesus.
Yeah, brother is changing more than a stock market ticker right now.
How many T-shirts do you want me to buy, Roman?
Hey, to be fair, I can't talk. I got the H. John Cena shirts.
You think Roman one day is gonna be like, you buy my shirts that say the YTC, the OTC, but I'm the only tribal chief, and I only care about one family, and that's my bloodline. But yeah, man, I think like that would help Jay so much, and that would be like, it's relatable. I can't relate to main event Jey Uso. I could relate to brother Jey Uso.
I can relate to family turmoil, but when it's time to come together, family comes together.
Hell yeah.
That I can get behind. And unfortunately, A-Town Down Under and Alpha Academy and Joe Hendry and All Rise, they don't provide that. Man, WWE, so if somebody is listening, just take that idea. Steal it.
Just
steal it.
You don't care. I wouldn't claim it. I would be like, I would pretend that someone told me, you know,
Yeah.
it's your idea.
Yeah,
Please.
just take that idea, because that'd be so sick. Oh.
Bet the Rock was there, that'd be cool, because he'd be like, you would go then, did he sell himself? Like, did he sell his soul to the Rock here? But nah, the Rock's there as Dwayne, you know? Dwayne. See, the Rock could do that. It could be the final boss, it could be the Rock, or it could be Dwayne. And if he was there as Dwayne, that'd be cool.
All right, so let's quickly book that. All right, so he comes out and greeted initially by who? Because I feel like we got to go lower pecking order. Okay,
Sami Zayn.
First Sami Zayn. All right,
Right.
He does his thing with Sami Zayn. Then who's next?
Bloodline Junior, the Team Bloodline.
Does it include Solo?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
so no.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll have Solo, Jacob, and the Loas right there to dap them up, and it's like this weird like tension, right? It's this tension, but they still dap him up.
Yeah.
He walks closer to Gorilla. Who's next?
Roman.
Ooh, Roman and Paul Heyman.
And Paul Heyman.
And Paul Heyman. And then what, at the very end, it's Rikishi and Jimmy?
Yes.
See, because I was thinking maybe you could add Solo there. Rikishi, Jimmy, Solo, because that's their brother's dad.
Okay, yeah. I like that. And then this is a long gorilla.
Then The Rock has to have the last bit.
Exactly. But The Rock doesn't say anything. He just looks at him, you know what I mean?
Nods.
And then he gives him the biggest dab ever.
Mm.
Or maybe they hug. I don't know.
Or maybe they go, Yahoo! Or whatever it is that The Rock says.
Hee-hoo.
Hee-hoo! Hee-hee!
But it'd be amazing, man. I think that would be like the perfect way to start Mania.
Oh, WWE, steal it. Steal it. Just take it. Just literally take it.
Take
you have it. It's
brother.
yours. It's yours.
We are a free service, please. We just say wrestling is cool.
We will complain about it though after the fact and say it was our idea. We will though.
The streets will know.
The streets will know. That's true. That's true. All right.
Will know.
Now, speaking of the streets have been crazy. The streets, you've been walking down, and then all of a sudden, U.S. Championship, new champion, women's tag team champions, new champion. You go to, oh my God, this street's getting a little too hectic. Let me go down to NXT Street, new North American champion, new double champion. All right, this was all too much. Let me go back to WWE, and then you get new tag team champions in the Street Profits. There have been so many title changes, Sancho. And something that I've said is that this is not normal. This close to WrestleMania, these many title changes is not a thing. Usually title changes at this point in the year aren't a thing at all, let alone as many as we're getting. And it goes to NXT and WWE because they're both building up to their biggest show of the year in Stand and Deliver in WrestleMania. And I think part of the reason why we think that way and why historically they haven't done this is because you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the time, a title change signals a reset in the division where all of a sudden you have to rebuild another contender back up, right? But then I kind of look at the landscape of these title changes and I see the tag team titles. So the Street Profits, them winning, that's not a reset because they could realistically defend the titles against Pretty Deadly the next week, and that storyline would make sense. We can still keep going forward full steam ahead. LA Knight winning the US Championship was kind of just necessary, right? But they've been doing a good job of building the mid-card without Nakamura, so that didn't feel like a reset. In fact, it felt like they actually advanced the division. We can look at, same with North American title, that just sort of felt like it was dead in NXT. And now being added to a new faction that's growing and evolving in NXT. We have a double champion in Stephanie Vaquer, but that division is so stacked that it doesn't feel like a reset of the division. The only one that it's like, that was questionable now when you think about like what they can do with the division is the women's tag team championships, because Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez literally have nothing and nobody to go up against. But it is insane that we've gotten this many championship changes throughout the last like 2 weeks since like right before Elimination Chamber. What are your thoughts on this hectic road to WrestleMania when it comes to the hot potatoing of all of these championship belts?
Love it because it's shows you that the times have different, man. The times have changed. It's what the Attitude Era always was. The Attitude Era was not about long belt reigns. It wasn't about, I held this belt for 1,000 days and this makes me a better champion. It just staled the product when it comes to the 666 days that Gunther had the title. I like the idea that you have big new names like Penta going against Braun Breaker. That makes it, this might be a possibility, because when a character or someone holds a belt for so long, eventually it just makes things so predictable that you don't want to watch weekly television. But with this road to WrestleMania last year, the chaotic nature was The Rock showing up with Roman and the finishing the story. Now we don't have that, and now that things are kind of booked out a little bit more, sparsely, I think that they elected now for, hey, you might want to watch this week on SmackDown because a belt could change. Or you might want to watch Raw because there's going to be a new, it could be a new title holder. And I like that idea because that's what wrestling should be. Wrestling should be that on any given Friday or Monday, someone could win. And then where it matters the most where you win is at Mania. Because that means where the lights are on. That's when the biggest spotlight, it's like the playoffs at that point, or the Super Bowl. At that point is if you win there, that's a bigger win than anywhere else. Like Io, great that she beat Rhea, but it was on a Raw. If Io wins again at Mania, that solidifies her and puts her in the pantheon of champions. So I like the chaotic nature. I've always hated long title reigns. It doesn't do anything to the title or the person holding them. I like the idea of, if Gunther loses to Jey and then Gunther gets it back quickly, I think that speaks more volumes of how great Gunther is, that he's able to get it back, versus, Gunther had an excellent long reign that makes him a better champion.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for the chaotic nature of this. It does make the road to WrestleMania a little bit more difficult to predict, which I think is a good thing. I think that it's funny and almost poetic that even with all of these title changes, the only one where we're like, yeah, it's Finn Balor. He ain't winning. And we were right.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. He's
what,
my boy.
You thought that Finn was actually going to beat Braun Breaker?
I did, considering all of his nature, and that's what I want. I want this feeling, right? Yeah. That, oh my God, this belt changed, that belt changed, this belt changed. The way they're set up the packages and promos, that Braun Breaker's like, I am unbeatable, no one can beat me. I'm like, maybe Finn could win. That's all I want. That's all I want in wrestling.
Hey, they gave you the feeling, they just didn't give you the result.
Yes, and even that match was like not main event worthy. When it all, like, I wish John Cena ended and Cody, because that would have been a stronger statement if Raw went off the air with John Cena with his back turned. Nah. That would have been an amazing way to end, but I understand why they didn't do that. But
that episode was actually weak. If you actually look at it, that episode of Raw was actually like pretty weak. It was designed to be the John Cena show. And I've seen people say, well, it was weak because it was cut short. Other segments lost time because of how long John Cena went. How? The show ended 7 minutes early. They literally left time on the table. It's because they didn't develop anything beyond just the great John Cena stuff.
Yeah. You could tell that there's a lot of things changing, and it could be because of the Rock's influence or this new wrench in the plan of John Cena turning heel. Regardless, the match still wasn't good. No matter where it was, Braun Breaker versus Finn with a distraction from Dominic that he accidentally causes Finn the belt because he knocks him off the turnbuckle. I thought that I'd rather have Dominic make a stronger choice.
Yeah.
Rather than I accidentally cost him. But it's a bummer for Finn, dude, because I thought this was a chance for Finn to get back to glory.
I thought, I never thought that Finn was going to win, but with it being in the main event in front of a European crowd, I thought it was a moment to get Finn over in some capacity. So I was like, okay, it could either be a title change, which I didn't see because, I mean, I didn't see Braun Breaker specifically losing. Or it could have been Finn gets kicked out of the Judgment Day, or the new member of the Judgment Day comes in to cost Finn Balor, and in some combination of those things, because we've been seeing so many crazy things happen in these title matches, whether it's title changes galore like we've been getting. The fact that this was in the main event definitely gave me the expectation that something of meaning was going to happen, and nothing really did. Having Penta come out there to make the save would have honestly hit so much harder if they hadn't have interviewed Penta before saying he wants to go after the Intercontinental Championship. Had that interview not happened and Penta just went and made the save and then stared down Braun Breaker, I would have been like, okay, that's our moment right there. But the moment was already kind of telegraphed a couple of hours before with Penta's interview saying he's going for the IC title, and during Braun Breaker's entrance, Penta staring him down. They should have not done any of those things. They should have just had Penta make the blind save and then stare down Braun Breaker, because that would have been like, ooh, okay, we're doing something with Penta, something of meaning, something that isn't just rotating your tires against Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, but that's what the WWE loves to do. They really want to make sure. We want to make clear as day that Penta wants the IC title, so they have to drive the. For those of you who aren't seeing it on the YouTube, Dwayne the Dog Johnson is begging Santi for a bagel. It's funny. You're a John Cena fan. You name your dog Dwayne the Dog Johnson, so you sold your soul to your dog, which is true.
It's true. If you own a dog, you basically do sell your soul to the dog. The dog owns you. You don't own the dog. But yeah. This is little Dwayne the Dog Johnson. Best name ever. Dude, every time I say it to people who are meeting Dwayne for the first time, laughter. Every time. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want my dog to bring you joy.
And then they come into your room and see all the wrestling paraphernalia. They go, "Oh, wait, oh no, this was not a cute."
He's just a psychopath.
But yes, dude, the entire. I don't know, man. I think Penta is an interesting thing. I think that's more of a banger. Let's put on a banger match. What's the best banger match we could put for Penta? Let's put it with Braun Breaker.
Why not? I'm in.
Why not?
I'm in. Could it be more than just Penta and Braun Breaker? Because we did see Dominic look at that IC title a little longingly. Did you see the side-by-side photo of him and Eddie that's been circulating? Wearing the same shirt. Looks exactly like Eddie, looking at the IC title the same way. I wouldn't mind that if it was Penta versus Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio, but then now we're talking about too many triple threats.
It's the WrestleMania triple threat. Yeah, that's the thing. When you have a triple threat match, and I think in general, that means you're not making a strong choice. You are making a choice where you want to protect everybody, and so that's why you do it as a triple threat, and you especially want to protect the current champion. And I think that's unfair to just make the strong choice, right? If you want to have someone lose, then just have them get pinned. And there's too much pin protection. We need to spend that pin protection on Finn Balor, man.
Oh, good old Finn Balor, man. For a second, he had me.
Do you think like what's the play here? Or because the only play is like the continue destruction of Judgment Day. Finn Balor, what? He's gonna get upset. He's like, I say, it's your fault, Dominic. Like that's all he's gonna do, and then. What, they're gonna kick out Finn? Is Probably. Finn going to crash out?
I think it's all the payoff of this, Sancho, is the new member. That's the payoff here. Whatever it ends up being, that's the payoff.
And who's the only person that could lead a faction with that kind of misfit? You think that could work out?
Oh man, honestly, I'm having a really tough time just making anybody make sense. Anybody makes sense. Like Karrion Kross, does that make sense? We already saw Karrion Kross as a faction leader, wasn't the greatest. Aleister Black.
Hey, you watch your tongue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Show me your Final Testament merch. That's what I thought. I have
Karrion Kross merch from NXT. You're right. But you were saying
I don't know. Maybe Aleister Black. They're kind of already teasing him. We saw the 4 that kind of looked like an A. It could be like April 4th, and the 4 kind of looked like an A for Aleister. We did see the tease of Rey Fenix. Funny enough, we saw both of these teases on SmackDown only, which now for sure tells me that they're going to SmackDown because we didn't see any of these teases on Raw. So I don't think it's going to be Aleister. Could it be Miro? Could it be the return of Rusev, the Redeemer? Maybe he's there to help redeem the Judgment Day. I don't know. But I genuinely am having a hard time thinking of who is the best fit here.
You know when Finn Balor died? I'll tell you when.
Tell me.
Edge.
The day that Finn Balor
died. WrestleMania 39, dude.
I agree.
Finn Balor.
Yeah, that was that people still try to, and by people I mean like one person that I've met, tries to argue that it was the right call. How is that the right call? A 50-year-old dude going over your significantly younger counterpart who has years left in his WWE deal, and you're going to give the WrestleMania win to the dude who's scheduled to retire and end his WWE career in a couple of months? That was dumb. Dumb. And then you do it when he's in his demon persona? Crazy. It killed Finn Balor. I 100% agree with you.
And people think it was when he faced Roman and he got brought back to life with lights. Nah.
That was Finn Balor is a cat. He's died like 7 times, brother. That was one of the deaths of Finn Balor. He's died like 7 times. The first one was the buckle bomb and having to relinquish the title. Dude, he's died a few times. It's just the Edge one was another death.
I think that was the ultimate death. Yeah, because Demon Balor was always the thing he could lean on. Like, what if he came out, if Demon Balor was still around and he came out as Demon Balor against Braun Breaker, I'd be like, oh no, Braun Breaker's in trouble, because that Demon Balor was unbeatable. No one could beat Demon Balor. And they made it hokey with Roman. And how did he wait? Did he lose because the turnbuckle broke?
Yes, it was and so he got revived by the lights and the heart palpitations, the heartbeats. Then he started cooking Roman. Then he went up to the top rope for the coup de grace. Then the rope magically broke, which allowed Roman to pick up the spear and get the win. And then Roman looked up and thanked God. We were supposed to believe that God caused Finn Balor, the demon, to lose. Oh yeah, the demon, God comes in and intervenes. Stupid. And it was a great match. That's the problem. It was a great match leading up until the most Vince McMahon ending I've ever seen. No, that was a Vince Russo ending. WCW ending.
I would have took it a Sancho West.
A Sancho West ending. Yeah. No, you would have had like LA Knight interfere or something.
Yeah. Hey, LA Knight. You said so yourself. Saving the mid-card. What can I say?
He's helping it. He's helping.
The glaze is all flowing. We're record-breaking high. Would you like to invest in the stock of glaze?
Yeah, I'd like to buy some stock. I think
because there's a lot of other stocks out here struggling. Tesla struggling. Glaze at an all-time high.
Who's the Tesla stock of WWE?
Jey Uso.
That's so good. I'm no rebuttal. That's facts. That's actual facts.
So you go down to the idea of LA Knight, United States title holder. Oh man. So what's his mania?
I think his mania, unfortunately, is going to be a multi-man match. Unlike the IC title, maybe a ladder match, maybe fatal 4-way. I think the ladder match makes sense. I just don't think there's because of how much on ice that title specifically has been. I feel like there is less of an opportunity to come up with something of meaning and something of worth. I think that the IC title should be just a one-on-one match, Penta and Braun Breaker. But I see the U.S. title picture being a multi-man match with the likes of Carmelo, maybe Braun Strowman. Andrade could be in there. I see this as a multi-man ladder match.
And you think Ray is in it? Because I think Ray's coming out.
Ray Phoenix? Yeah. Everything is pointing to Ray Phoenix coming before WrestleMania, and he would be awesome in a ladder match. That would be awesome.
Oh, man. I wouldn't hate it if Ray wins there.
Bro, honestly. What if Ray and Penta walk out of WrestleMania with singles titles?
Oh,
dude, that'd be crazy.
Because then what?
WWE, we're just we're just booking things for you. Come on, just take it. Just take it.
And then they appear together wearing gold. They've always said the fastest way to fast track anyone to get the biggest heat, the biggest draw is put gold on them, brother. Oh my goodness. And then they go after the tag team titles. Let's go. Put this gold on them, dude.
I'm down for that. I'm so down. Speaking of gold, let's stick with gold here for a second and move over to women's championship gold. Really fascinating storyline developing here between Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky.
Fascinating.
In the 3 weeks that this story has existed, it is so over, in my opinion. And it's done the best job at doing what it needs to do, which is elevate Io Sky. Io Sky, every single week, has come out a bigger star, in my opinion. From the pops, the reaction that she gets, she is clearly getting more and more over. And one of the things that I said, Sancho, is that in this road to WrestleMania, there are things that they need to do to get over, and that they need to take advantage of the European crowd where it's easy to get things over. Io Sky is one of those. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre is one of those. You got to take advantage of these crowds that will help you get these things over, so that once you get stateside, once you get to WrestleMania, they're just over, because they were so over in Europe. They're doing a brilliant job of it with Io Sky. They're doing a decent job with it, admittedly, with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre already in front of a European crowd. They're trying with Jey Uso. It's not working very well there. But they're doing a great job of getting Io over to get her in terms of the level of reaction and popularity that a Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair would get. Isn't it fascinating as well, though, that it's a story as long as time. Wrestlers don't know how contract law works, with Rhea Ripley stealing the contract and famously putting her name on it like many other wrestlers have and saying, that just means I got the match, right? That's just how this works. But also, poetically, if you go back to when Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, do you remember their conversation?
Hit me.
Yeah, their conversation was, you don't respect me because you think I'm a kid. I was a kid all those years ago. I'm not a kid anymore. Charlotte still continued to think that she's a kid. And this is the most kid that Rhea Ripley has ever been. And honestly, it kind of worked for me. No, I'm not giving it back. No, put me in the match. No, my name's on it. Put me in the match. It worked because they need to lean on somebody being the heel, and they've chosen Rhea Ripley. And this works for me. It works for me.
She can't be a heel.
Yes, you can. I think somebody has to be. Somebody has to be. In this way, somebody has to be.
Oh, I'm so happy that you love dumb fast food to get what you want when I could offer you a Michelin star experience. Would you like to know my Michelin star experience? Would you like to step into my safe place?
Go ahead. I'll eat this bagel while you probably burn down this kitchen with your cooking.
Oh, no. I agree with you that Rhea Ripley just claiming a spot at the triple threat is lazy. It's a way of saying, we don't know how to put these women together. We're just going to make Rhea go out there on a limb and put her name on the thing and be like, ooh. They had if you wanted to turn to heel, they had plenty of ammunition, or they had plenty of ingredients to do so, my friend. You remember back in the day when Judgment Day was running Raw? Was it 2 years ago? When we first started this podcast, you had Judgment Day. They were doing everything. They had all the titles. They had Damian Priest. They had Rhea Ripley. The Mommy was on top. Who did they shake hands with at one point of their little run?
The Bloodline.
The Bloodline. And who runs the Bloodline? Who is the deal maker for the Bloodline?
Paul Heyman.
And what did Paul Heyman say? He said, authorize, when he basically had the Judgment Day help him out. Why couldn't Rhea Ripley go into her little contacts and call Paul Heyman to get her a match at Mania? Now, you could say, well, they may be saving the bullet in the chamber for CM Punk to get himself involved in whatever. But that would have been the perfect way for Rhea Ripley to make some people go, ooh, I don't like that. That's slimy that she sided with Paul and that Paul Heyman helped her get into the match. Because I will still stick to this criticism point that I made last week, that Triple H doesn't necessarily know what he's going to do with the women. And the women are doing whatever they can with making whatever he has work. And not only they're doing it on television, but if you look at the social medias, they're doing everything that they can to make this match bigger than is being presented so far by the WWE. So I have to give credit to Rhea, Io, and Bianca. The contract signing was dope. I love it when she literally powerbombed Io right into Bianca. 1,000%. But I do not enjoy the idea that Rhea Ripley could just sign her name and she's in. I'd rather have it coming from Io Sky. If you want to build up Io Sky, that Io Sky takes the challenge and says, enough. He says enough and decides to say, all right, Rhea, you want in this? I could beat you and Bianca. I'm that. And then at least give her an out for losing, because you admire her as a babyface for taking the challenge, a la Motor City Machine Guns, where they're like, you know what? We could fight right now, buddy, old pal. Give her an out just in case her hubris makes her lose. You'd be like, hey, at least she took on the challenge of Rhea and Bianca. Hard to do at Mania.
Yeah, it's almost, in my opinion, they've got like the wrong person as champion to really help make this triple threat make sense, because I kind of just always default back to how they brilliantly set up Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, which was Rey Mysterio had the number one contendership in a match against Kurt Angle, and then Randy Orton got in Rey's head and forced him to put the championship opportunity on the line that got Randy Orton into the triple threat. It would have been interesting for Io Sky to maybe play that Rey role where she won the Elimination Chamber and she naively puts her opportunity on the line, loses it, gains sympathy, yada, yada, yada. But that would have required, say, Bianca being champion and Rhea Ripley manipulating Io Sky to take her opportunity for this triple threat to really work.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the men get that opportunity, and sometimes the women get opportunities, yes, and they do main event, yes, but their booking could be very basic, whereas what you just gave me was very, very like intertwining, manipulative. But
it's deeper for sure. A lot of the stuff, it's very surface level.
But at the same time, I know we got a month and they could kind of build that out, but it's where it's problematic is when you have your biggest star in the women's division do something as silly and childish as, my name's on the contract, it's mine. That to me doesn't sit well for a mommy character, where it should be like, hey, Adam, shouldn't you want me in your main event, like in your main event at Mania? Shouldn't I represent Raw in this whatever? And am I the biggest merch seller? That like be that kind of a heel in that serve versus like, you know what? It was a very Stone Cold move, right?
Yeah. I also wouldn't mind like if they went with the more heroic route with Io Sky demanding that Rhea Ripley gets added, which could then be a sore point for Bianca. Like, what the hell? Like, why is she getting added? Like, Io, what are you doing? And then we can create more tension between Io and Bianca. There's ways to do it. I really hope that it's not Adam Pearce being like, sorry, my hands are tied. The name is on the contract. That's how contract law works. No, it's not. Literally call any lawyer. They'll laugh at this.
I wish Dom and Rhea were still together, because Dom would have had some sleazy lawyer come in and like represent Rhea like, well, and then, Dom would be like, don't worry, mommy, I'll take care of it. I'll get you the match.
Yeah, it ends up being 7 years later. It's like a Tommaso Ciampa or a Joe Hendry
or Carlito. Carlito's a lawyer.
Carlito's a lawyer would be hilarious, dude. I love how I know we're gonna sidetrack here, but when Dominic Mysterio is like, I didn't know that Penta was gonna go for the Intercontinental Championship, and then Carlito goes, don't you watch the show?
Probably not. Yeah, I do enjoy the idea though of, I feel this is so funny because Carlito takes so many spears now. He said in the Chris Van Vliet interview, I don't want to work with Braun Breaker, and someone must have heard it because he's getting obliterated by Braun Breaker every week now because he hurts. He hurts,
man. He hurts people. Listen, I know that it's maybe not the best story, but I think it's good enough to be ahead of Jey Uso versus Gunther in terms of pecking order and importance. Like, if you told me, gun to your head, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io,
take everything, please.
Women's triple threat or Jey Uso versus Gunther? What main event's night one?
The triple threat.
I go women's triple threat. I really would, and it's not even a question, man. It's not even a question.
Now, unless you put the bloodline,
if you do that,
Jay, that's different. I'm like, wait a minute.
We gave WWE. We just gave you the formula as to how to get Jey Uso and Gunther to feel like a main event spot. You got to add the whole bloodline, the tunnel of bloodline, man. Oh man, that would be beautiful.
Does that make you? Ooh.
It does. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And that makes Gunther look so scary.
I agree. Yeah, that it requires, the bloodline coming together to provide the power of family and friendship to get Jey Uso out there. Woo!
The power of family.
Speaking of family, the Wyatt family, the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss just seem to be nowhere. We already kind of talked about the Wyatt Six and how they've just sort of disappeared. We know that there's an injury somewhere within the family. But being this close to WrestleMania, are we seeing a world right now, Sancho, where the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss all miss WrestleMania? I made a video about WWE superstars that are in danger of being WrestleMania snubs, and the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss were at the top of my list. Where are they for you?
I mean, they're nowhere to be found. It's like we talked about with John Cena. There's just so much opportunities, and everybody they just can't take advantage of it because they're not in the ring. And it just seems to me that there's not enough room to play. Like if you think that, LA Knight and all those other guys have no programs, these people have nothing. Like absolutely nada. I mean, we haven't seen the teases though with Alexa, with the little
those have kind of disappeared.
I think what we're gonna get at Mania is their return. And Alexa joins them. That's their Mania moment. That's what that's going to happen. I don't know. I know you hate it. It could be the Raw after Mania, which last year did they appear at the Raw after Mania?
No. They were the Raw after like Clash or something like that.
Yeah, because we expected them to be at the Raw at Mania. We were like, ooh, and then they didn't.
That's right.
Because it was
yeah. So it could be the Raw after Mania. It could be the SmackDown before Mania. That's usually a pretty big SmackDown. That's like the things that we weren't able to get onto the Mania card, get onto the SmackDown before WrestleMania. That's where I'm expecting things like maybe like a women's US title match. I wouldn't be obviously the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Maybe the women's tag titles. The things that are like, these are important but not important enough to get you on WrestleMania tend to happen on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. Maybe this is where the Wyatt Six come back. I don't know, bro.
To do what?
I don't know. They've done such a poor job that it's so difficult to.
Dad's still running around being a pest.
Dude, it's annoying because WWE now has two examples where their initial execution was literally not even just out of the park. It was out of this universe with the New Day heel turn and the debut of the Wyatt Six. Two of the
second straight. The second straight for New Day.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Right. Stop me when I'm telling lies. Both of those two things were two of the most talked about single moments of the entire year, and WWE did a really poor job of following both of those up. And
I think it's because they wrote themselves into the corner of, hey, Chad Gable is dead or not dead.
I forgot about that. Oh, Chad Gable's murder.
Everybody in Gorilla was dead. Were they not dead? They caused an incident. Remember that WWE said it was an incident?
It should have been supernatural, man. It should have been that we walked into an alternate dimension that didn't actually happen. It was like a ghost of Christmas past or future where we were seeing things that could happen. They should have leaned into supernatural. It would have been
so cool if it was Triple H as part of one of the people out there and it leaned into supernatural. Like, oh my God, what happened to Triple H? Oh no, it was a whole dream. It was a sequence of in Chad Gable's mind. Now he's being traumatized. And you got to remember, didn't The Miz get captured at one point?
Yes.
Like, what were we doing? Don't know. And I called it from the very beginning is that if you're going to do supernatural, you got to lean into it hard. And if you dip your toe in and go, ooh, not for me, this is what happens. Then you can't commit to anything. And the only person, the life raft, is Alexa Bliss because she's still part of that ultra supernatural dimension. And if supernatural powers could give a belt to Alexa, I think that's going to be good. But the problem is, brother, you have what? Wyatt Six, 5 people, and Alexa. That's a lot for just one character to be on a card. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That's a lot of investment for just Alexa to be a women's world champion.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I hope they do something, though. Something.
Because I like them. I like Dexter Lumis. I like Joe Gacy. Eric Rowan kind of feels like a...
Yeah, they're fine supporting characters. They're fine supporting characters.
They're fine. I think Nikki Cross is the one that was short-handed because Nikki Cross can go, brother. You know Nikki Cross could do some crazy moves. I mean, I just recently saw Nikki Cross in the first Royal Rumble, and no, in the second Royal Rumble in 2019 for the women, and she kind of tore down the house as her crazy character that she was part of. Was it Sanity? Was that she was part of?
Yep.
Yeah, she was really cool in that little vibe. But I maybe this injury has to do with Uncle Howdy as the big thing.
Maybe
you can't have the Wyatt Six without Uncle Howdy, and they need to stop vignettes if they're gonna come back. Stop with the vignettes, cut promos in the ring, because that's where you had a little bit more power, more spookiness.
we already kind of touched on this. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. It's funny, Sancho, because before the most recent episode of Friday Night SmackDown, it was you. It was you, Sancho, that said that they need to lean in on all of the things that have happened to Drew McIntyre that were at the expense of Drew McIntyre and the benefit of Damian Priest. We mostly focused on the cash-in, you said that they should focus more on that as the focus of the feud.
It was during Match Club.
Yeah, it was during Match Club. Instead of just focusing on you're whiny, you're complaining, and they did. And it kind of worked on me. It kind of worked on me because they are now focusing on Drew McIntyre saying, yeah, I had this amazing year, but I got screwed time after time after time after time. And now that I sit back and analyze that year and look at every single time that I was screwed, it was always Damian Priest that was there to pick up the scraps. The hyena that benefited from every single time that I was screwed. I was like, oh, you found it. You found the thread. Now pull on it. And now you're in front of a crowd that will allow you to build this and make it exciting. I'm not necessarily in. I still think that they could have done something better for both of those guys. But now I feel like they can actually develop something interesting. Thoughts?
Kind of like, I still find it funny that it was CM Punk in every one of those clips.
Yeah.
like, why are you blaming this dude? Dave's clearly CM Punk. Which I wish they were kind of Damian would lean into as well. Be like, you're just afraid of CM Punk. That'd be interesting if they want to pull on that thread. I just hope that Damian says, yeah, I did. Of course. I'm not stupid. I took advantage because I'm the Street King. You know? That kind of stuff.
Dude, why do you always add a fart at the end? It's like Terrence and Phillip from South Park. Anyways, you don't know that reference. You don't know.
But Damian Priest gives him something, and I think that's all you want in a build for Mania is a why. And they had a very basic why, in that it was that he was too whiny and that Damian was sick and tired of hearing it. But now there's a reason, and I want to hear Damian's side of like, yeah, of course, I took advantage of you.
I'm the Street King.
This is what this business is. This business has always been about being advantageous, so why not? What I don't like what they're doing with Damian, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you feel this way as well, is how they try to build him up to be like this guy to go to for other faces to kind of like lean on a little bit, and then they're like, he's like a Vin Diesel in the backstage, you know? He's like, yeah, well, don't worry about it. I'll see you later down the road. I'm the Street King, right? Do you feel that way too? Or it's like, why is Damian here dealing with this segment where he's just here? You know?
Yeah, we even had the little moment with Cody Rhodes, right? I'll see you soon, champ.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
and maybe he's the anchor being. If we want to go back into that realm again.
He feels like Dom Toretto now the more I think about it, because it's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, Dwayne. Like that's all the kind of vibes that I get from Damian the Street King right now, is that he's this guy that's supposed to feel like a locker room presence, in that people respect him because of his grind, right? Remember that? We got that Gunther grind, we got the whole documentary about Damian, how he grinded, and now he's this guy that made it to the top. Lean into that more, but I don't know. Don't have him call out Drew McIntyre, because calling out Drew McIntyre just gives Drew McIntyre more power in my mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the Drew he'll take that criticism all day. Like, oh, I complain. Well, let me tell you, like, that's in Drew's wheelhouse. Like, let's build you up, Damian, not off the back of somebody else. Let's build you up to stand on your 2 feet, my friend.
Are you more excited about this feud though?
No.
Okay. All right. Says this is the flavor of the week. Drew McIntyre. Okay, gun to your head. WrestleMania.
Oh God. You're like Michael Scott in improv.
He says he has a gun. Gun to your head. What main events night one? Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, or Jey Uso versus Gunther? None of the bloodline backstage stuff. Just as is. Just as is.
Jey and Gunther, you idiot.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Anti-Jey Uso propaganda.
It was just a temperature check. It was not a propaganda peddling or anything like that. It was none of that. None of that. Nothing like that. I like Jey Uso. Some may say I really love Jey Uso. I was just checking. It was a heat check, like in basketball. It was a heat check. That's all it was. All right. That's all it was. Sticking with heat checks here real quick as we get towards the end of the podcast. Another heat check. I feel like another feud that took advantage of the fact that they're in front of a hot crowd, that needed to take advantage of the fact that they were in front of a hot crowd, was Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. I loved that they were brawling. I love that it was like a 5-minute brawl. I love that the brawl came back out. It is kind of funny that both times that Tiffany went off the top rope for the big moment for Swantons didn't land anywhere near Charlotte Flair.
She didn't want to hurt Charlotte, brother. Come on.
I know, but like these are the things that people notice at this close to WrestleMania. These are the things that get magnified, is what I'm saying.
It's a microscope. It's put up or shut up time, dude. It matters. Everything matters here. You can't.
It's not as bad as Jey Uso's little botch, but it's things that people were definitely magnifying.
Well, the best part of that whole thing with Tiffany was she goes, "I'm the queen now." Like that's the best part. Like that's what we wanted, this battle for the crown type of vibe. Tiffany going up against Charlotte and actually standing out. The only thing I don't when it comes down to Tiffany and Charlotte is I feel the opposite of Jey and Gunther. They need time and they're actually doing stuff with it. Versus Jey and Gunther probably don't need that much time at this point. So great for them, man. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think Tiffany needs to continue to outsmart Charlotte and overwhelm Charlotte with like this youth. Like I can't, like, no matter how many times Charlotte beats up Tiffany, she can't put her away because Tiffany is just that spunky. Mm-hmm. You know, she's hungrier. You know, that's what I want, that vibe her. And I think that the WWE is kind of slowly telling that story and without really saying it, is that Tiffany is wrestling, Tiffany is doing this and that. Charlotte, you're not the same anymore. And I think if Tiffy came out and said, "I'm the hungry one here. I'm here proving myself." What champion have you seen wrestle as much as me? Because it's true. If you look at it, out of all the champions, she's the one that's wrestling the most out here to prove herself. So I would like her to lean into that more rather than her Tiffy time promos don't work that well as a face. Okay, because my problem with babyface promos is sometimes they have to lay the land. And if you're not that great at laying the land and you're not that great of like, let me lay everything out for you, let me set it up for you, and then say a catchphrase, it won't hit as hard versus a heel where the heel doesn't have to do that. They just agitate, right? They're there to agitate and get some emotion from you. And I think whereas Tiffy excels in that as a heel, where she could excel as a face if she agitates Charlotte more rather than saying her catchphrases, you know?
Yeah. Listen, I still think that they're very much relying on just wait, this match will bang. I really think that's what they're relying on. And I guess that's fine. But I wish there was a better story. Here's the thing, that was Charlotte and Rhea all of the at WrestleMania 39. They had a terrible story, nothing of substance, and then the match, we're still talking about it to this day. I feel like maybe there is somewhere within the WWE that they believe that Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton could put on a magical match to the level of Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, so that the buildup doesn't really get remembered for it not being, you know, very deep and it's being one-dimensional. We're just going to remember how awesome the match is. That's kind of what it feels like, what they're leaning on.
Do you feel that sometimes the WWE spends weekly television just to set up a really sick montage?
We know they have amazing editors, like when The Rock did his terrible promo and then it just came out looking amazing.
So what I mean is this moment of Tiffy swanton bombing off the Titantron or the Minitron is going to be a moment that they put in the package and it's going to make, oh my God, if you go back in time, if you go in the future and then you go back to this WrestleMania, you're like, oh my God, what happened in this feud? Oh, they jumped off the Titantron. Oh my God, that's kind of sick. Oh, she hit out the knee and she put her in the figure eight. Oh,
I get what you mean. I get what you
see
mean.
What I'm saying? It's like the clips are on fire, right? But it's the in between, the greasing of the wheels that we feel like that could be a little bit more so they could really explode.
I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case because I totally get where you're coming from. I have the vision now. What you're saying is that once we get to Mania, they're gonna put on this awesome video package with all of these individual moments while ignoring the fact that the narrative in those individual moments was lackluster. And then that video package plus the banger match will have us walking away with, we like that. Yeah. Is that the worst thing in the world? Not necessarily, but I wish we could get the best of all the world, right? A great story.
You take.
Oh, take. Great circle back moment there. Great circle back moment.
That's because it's true, Santi. You're toxic. Yeah, he said nobody's safe, brother.
I know, dude. Nobody. It was so funny because when he was cutting that promo and I'm draped in Cena gear, my chat was literally saying, Cena hates you, Santi, just you specifically.
I had a moment where I'm like, oh no, he's going to unfollow everybody on Twitter. I'm like, no. It's like,
no, that's no.
I'm like, I've worked so hard.
That would have been brilliant. That would have made the news. If Cena unfollows all 500,000 people that he follows, that I think would have legitimately made mainstream media.
He follows,
it's like 700,000,
981,000 people, brother.
I think it would have been brilliant if he unfollowed everybody.
And he only followed The Rock and Travis Scott.
Oh, or Mama Rhodes. If he only followed Cody Rhodes' mom.
whoa.
Mama Rhodes.
I'm just hoping that when they bring the band together and The Rock and Cena are together, I'm hoping it's not Lackey John, and I'm hoping he cuts like some really cool promo. Can you imagine the idea? Like, if you would have gone back in time and said, "Hey, man, The Rock and Cena are going to be in a faction together, cutting a promo together again't somebody," like, oh my god,
game over,
what's
bro.
That look like? Like, I know that. What's that look like? That's going to be so cool to see that. People think like, haven't heard any chirping about this, and correct me if you have, but no one's talking about Hogan and Savage, the Mega Powers, because this is like the Mega Powers. Granted, Savage was nowhere near the level as Hogan, but in some eyes, he was just as popular at that time. But this is Rock and Cena, dude. Mega Powers 2.0.
Well, Sancho, shall we? Because we missed it last week, and people were upset. All two people were upset last week that we missed on the new Heat order. While you get that set up, actually. NXT Roadblock real quick. Real quick. Yeah, man. We got a new double champ in Stephanie Vaquer. I think to me that signals that Julia is hurt, but super cool to get the Keith Lee moment for Stephanie Vaquer.
Did you see Charlotte doing the Stephanie move?
Which one?
The legs move and smashing? Charlotte did that.
Oh, yeah. I did see that. It was a variation of it. I did see that. So shout out to Stephanie Vaquer. That's great. Getting the Hardys versus Fraxium. That was awesome. Just living in a society where we're getting the Hardys defending the TNA titles on a WWE TV show, to me, is just so crazy. Moose versus Obafemi put all haters to shut up. Oh my God. It told you I was a dream match because the result was a dream match. That match was awesome. It was a fantastic match. Moose felt right at home in that world. I thought it was brilliant.
Why did they let Moose win though, brother?
Because it's the NXT one champion was guy. I think it's just because the bigger champion was there. It wasn't NXT World Champion versus TNA World Champion. It was Midcard versus World Champion.
I'm just saying a TNA guy has to win somewhere.
Hey, the Hardys won, but they feel like WWE guys, so yeah, which is true. And hey, Javon Evans and Ethan Page, I think put on a match of the year. Oh my goodness, that thing was brutal. Ethan Page, main roster ready like a year ago, and he just continues to demonstrate it in every aspect of his game. And Javon Evans, I think he's going to be for kids, this generation's Jeff Hardy. You know, like I think he's just going to stick in the hearts of so many, especially younger fans. He dressed
like him.
Oh, well, he's inspired by Jeff Hardy. He's a Jeff Hardy kid at heart. I think he's going to be huge, man. I think he's going to be a merch selling machine. And I feel like so many people are going to fall in love with Javon Evans when he becomes a little bit more mainstream and gets into the main roster. NXT folk already love Javon Evans. Anyways, just wanted to end it with NXT Roadblock was an absolutely brilliant show. And with the final thought that I wish WWE did more TV specials like these for Raw and SmackDown. I think the last time that we had one, well, I guess Raw Netflix debut kind of was that. But like last year they did Raw Day 1 and SmackDown New Year's Revolution. NXT does these like once every month or once every month. Like Roadblock, they did Heatwave was an actual PLE this year. Great American Bash is usually like a TV special. Spring Break-In, New Year's Evil. I wish WWE main roster would do more like that, where they can say, hey, this particular episode of Raw and SmackDown, this is a special one. Come by, see our wares, fall in love with what we have.
Come Tuesday.
New Heat order.
New Heat order, for those of you who know, is a very high demand list. Very.
Man. There were person that was mad that it wasn't here. A total person.
Yeah. Well, all you do is you take and you take. You don't understand the time that we sacrifice. The what is it? The watch time that we sacrifice, because once we pull out the new Heat order, it all comes to a stop. You understand? So we sacrifice this for you. The new Heat order last week we had Pretty Deadly at number 1 through 10. Okay, so we did not forget that. All right, because Pretty Deadly was the best thing last week. So this is about the buzz, the fun, the hoopla of the entire time.
Number 1, John Cena.
Yes, number 1, John Cena. Oh, we didn't really talk about Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, did we? I mean, they're gonna.
This was the Cena episode.
Yes,
we had a main topic. It was the Cena episode.
Yes, it was. Okay. Number 2, Cody?
Yeah.
You know what? It was also that, how dare he speak to John Cena that way? I bet you there was someone out there like, don't you dare call him whitey. Oh, not my John. Oh. Number 3, that was me. Yeah. Number 3. Here we go. Number 3. Who do we have here? I mean, we can't forget that there's still the remnants of Bianca Belair and Naomi and Jade. They didn't really touch that. I'm surprised.
Yeah, not this week. There was the hilarious. Oh my God, dude, Liv Morgan is so goddamn funny.
Yes.
Oh my dude, I was howling laughing. Okay, yeah, you want to have a match next week? Just try to not get thrown out of car. So good.
I was trying to. When I did the review for SmackDown on Patreon, I said there's different levels to this game, and you could see where people are on this path. Right? You're looking at BFAB, by the way, solid match against Charlotte. Interesting that they put her against Charlotte in a way, because I'm like, hey, BFAB, I guess they were just seeing what she can do, what's her level potential, and if she could go with Charlotte because Charlotte's willing to sell for you and she'll bump for you, then you could probably have a chance, right? Because
and hey, what did I say throughout this episode? If you're trying to get something over, these are the crowds to get it over. If you're you're serious about BFAB, put it out in front of this crowd.
And BFAB in Barcelona, by the way, BFAB, pretty solid showing, but there's that promo that she cut, and then you look at Jade, and then you get Liv, right? Jade is at that moment where she just, if she's talking to you, she's talking to Kathy Kelly, I'm like, I don't buy it.
She can't
it. Right. She's not even seem like she could talk to her, right?
She's learning. I can tell.
You're just talking to somebody that's asking you a question. And if it doesn't sound like that you're giving that answer truthfully to just the person across for you, how can I buy that you could give an answer to everybody in the stadium? The moment that when she talks to Liv, I buy it because I'm like, okay, great. And there was a moment where she was a little bit vulnerable. I'm like, I'm buying. But just her just talking to someone, she's not there yet, like a CM Punk.
Yeah, you can tell there's levels from the art of the promo between right now Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. Liv Morgan was just so natural at it, where it just sort of felt like Jade was a bit more reactive, and in the interview was straight up just reading a script.
Yeah. Well, like I said. Yeah. But like I said, I'm rooting for Jade, and if Jade could put it together, and they're giving her the time, it's going to be great for her. Dude, when she hit that, I just got like, damn it. I was like, damn, Liv, you got me. Number 3, then.
Profits? They're on here.
They're on here. I'm just looking at my list of Penta?
You know what? Penta. I would go Penta.
We are in a Penta era.
How about now the Profits? Do you think Profits
I
here?
agree. Let me tell you something.
It just reminds you of that meme. Let me tell you something.
I got to work on my Penta, dude, because he's like, let me say something to everybody. Anyway.
That's not bad. That's a good Penta.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah,
right?
for me, doing a Penta is just like trying to mimic my dad.
But I like how my favorite promo from Penta is just him being so exasperated and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Dude, I love doing a Latino accent in English. Like I do it all the time because of my dad. But there are things that like every Latino where it's English as a second language, like they always say, like, for example, Brussels, Americans or native speakers, they say that all Latinos will always say ooh. Thank you, Brussels. I love it.
He's one of us, man.
Yeah, Brussels.
I love you. Let's see. Hey, dude, this mysterious luchador causing problems.
Oh, you want to put Toto Americano in here?
I'm gonna put him at 10.
Okay, yeah, put Toto Americano in there. We don't know who he is, but he's winning us over.
I like his shoe game. Great suplexes. And I'm sure number one, like, do not let this person in here.
Yeah. He's number one most wanted by security guards. How's 5 Io Sky?
Yeah, she's looking great.
I love that, man. I love that.
I think what Io needs is what if Rhea attacks Kairi Sane. But obviously she's hurt. Dude, remember that bump she hit when she hit that table?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Nasty. That was the one where she like took out her eye, right?
Yes. I hate that table. I said it in the review. I'll say it here again officially. That table sucks. It's big. It's enormous. It causes problems. When people get thrown on it, it looks like I'm just wrestling on a bed. It doesn't have that kind of thud that you need, because you see like a Samoan drop is like, and they gently land on it. It sucks, dude. It is lame. Get it out of here. Give me that other one that broke. Because when you watch NXT, how awesome is it when you see that table break?
It's awesome. Huh? It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Who else?
You know what I'm predicting?
What?
There's gonna be a Braun Strowman. He's gonna go get suplex on it, and the thing's gonna break and collapse, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, the unbreakable table!" That's what's gonna happen.
Okay. How about, does LA Knight fit in here this week?
Oh, what did LA Knight do?
He was with Jimmy in the 6-man tag match. We could look at Drew McIntyre taking out Damian Priest. I feel like, you know what? We were far more positive this week on Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Maybe that's worthy of 8 and 9, or one of them getting on there. Or do we just want to go Io, Rhea, Bianca and just boom, boom, boom? Because all three of them have been great.
Io, Rhea, Bianca.
I feel comfortable with that.
And then LA Knight, and then Drew.
I like that.
Because Drew had the vignette that put everything together, and then literally came out and curb stomp Damian Priest. Did you see what he posted on the Twitter?
Yeah. Like the GTA thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned curb stomp. Yo, what a wasted week for Seth Rollins. What a waste of a promo. Oh, good God.
People hate on me when I say, what was that for?
It was pointless.
It was an email. Oh, you're gonna be on SmackDown? Great.
I'll be there. Like, that's what it was, dude. I said this in the review. I'm glad we're on the same page. I was like, that was the most nothing burger promo ever. It was 10 minutes of letting the crowd sing.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
And then him saying, oh, yeah, CM Punk and Roman aren't here, but I hear they're going to be on SmackDown, so I'll be there. By the way, get hyped for the main event. Yay! Like, what? What are we doing? That was so pointless. Anyways,
I'm surprised we didn't put Tiffany and Charlotte. They're there. They're coming around the mountain.
They're getting around to it, but like they still have that baggage, as you can see. No Jey Uso or Gunther here this week.
Hey, Jay. Okay, number 10, Thor Americano. Number 9, Drew Mack. Number 8, LA Knight. Number 7, Bianca Belair. Number 6, Rhea Ripley. Number 5, Io Sky. Number 4, Street Profits. Number 3, Penta. Let me tell you something.
Brussels, thank you.
Why are we like this?
We're good at it, man. It's our time to shine. Latino accents. It's our time to shine. That's us.
We're just adding more of them, dude. Oh my god! Someone said I remember, I don't know where. I think it was last week. They're like, I cannot wait for just the podcast to be nothing but voice impressions.
we start with Ray. We work towards Penta, and then I'm Braun Strowman.
Number 2, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody. Oh, that was a sick moment. And then number 1, John Cena. Yo, you know what? Honorable mention, Brussels. Y'all made that. Y'all made that Monday Night Raw for us. What a great Monday Night Raw that was, or at least the crowd being in that moment with John Cena. I think y'all worked so well with him. Booed the hell out of him, and that's what we wanted, and it worked so well. And na chant him. Oh,
dude, they're gonna regret doing that though. When you realize, oh no, that was the last time we saw Cena, and we did that to him. Oh no. Eventually, maybe not now, but when it comes closer to the retirement, the people in that arena are gonna be like, oh no, we did that.
Oh, look at you. You say they're like, I never booed you, John. I always loved you, John. That's gonna be you at the.
I never booed.
I never booed,
John. I never booed.
He doesn't love you anymore, Santi. Get over with. It's over.
I got broken up with.
Stop calling him. Don't look at his emails. Don't look at his Insta stories to see if he liked your stories, my friend. Stop it. It's not happening anymore.
I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my headband in the bottom.
I truthfully though, I'm there for you, bro. There's plenty of room on this LA Knight. LA Knight doesn't do you wrong. LA Knight will never steer. LA Knight will always be
cutting a promo and go start joking. Dude, that's still my favorite LA Knight moment where he accidentally swallowed his gum. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching and or listening to this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Once again, thank you. Wrestling is cool. Thank you for listening to this episode of Wrestling is Cool podcast. Again, you could have gotten this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else. An extra special thank you goes out to our $15 patrons, who are the ones who are the producers of the show and allow Sancho and I to do what we do as often as we do it. So a special thank you goes out to We Disappointed Papa Cena, We Are Not Worthy. First patron, I Crazy Dude says W Invincible Finale, Aaron Garcia, Abdullah Kaja, Adam Pacina, Aiden, Adrian, Aiden S, Alex Regal, Alex, Alfie Throne, American Nightmare, Cody Lander, Anita Maxwin, Anthony A, Antony, Arrogance, Ashley, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Ozzy Gregory, Authentic Chocolate, Bailey Saunders, BFD is the skull crushing finale with less steps, Be Hostile, Big Bronson's Meat, Big Shy, Blast Pass, Bluefoot, Bluefish, Bombaclat, Brady Williams, Brady Keaton, Brady McGlynn, Brandon Fribley, Brandon Jamlin, Bryce Burt, Bryson Miller, Caleb Hurley, Caleb Williams, Callis Cavan, Cameron Waring, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, Chase Rose, Chimchar Collectibles, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Estes, Chris Eric Clark Jr., Christian Billick, Clay, CM Drunk, Colby Mayo, Conductor of the Pentatrain, Connor Hoffman, Connor Williamson, Cool Whip Tim, Corey King, Corey Pichu, Dalton Dunbar, Daniel, Danman38, Danny Gunk, Darren Dustin, Dick, Duck Girl 99, or it could be Dick Girl. I don't know. There's no I or U. It's just DCK. I'm working with what I got here, Sancho.
Let us know in the comments and Patreon.
Yeah, is it Dick or Duck? You let me know. Derek Barnhart, Devin Geertz, Diamond Boy, DG316, D Lopez, Dom Should Win Everything, Drake Hughley, Dumsky, Dylan Ariola, Dylan Kana, Eduardo Avilla, El Jochi, El Ferreira, Emmanuel Holmes, Aaron Thorne, Everybody Loves Henry Ramon, Extreme Madness 98, Eyesights, the apron is the hardest part of the ring. Really? Crazy. Fishing with Papa J, Fletcher Walpole, Floating, FMF CMA, Forever Wrestling, Franklin L. Everett, Fruity Foo Vibes, Gamerscape, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Goat Man of Cheese, Grayson Swan. Remember when we started this and we had like 5? Now we're pages. It's great. GXA Man, Heartfeld, Hey Shakes, Hoodie Cam, I'm Rick James Bitch, Isaac McFlurry, Isaiah Day, Isaiah Rodriguez, Issa David, it's me, No, it's Mr. It's Astro Kid, it's ... Christian, Jack Ghibli, Jackson, Jacob Hype, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jaden Davis, Jaden Solomon Jones, Jake Shavoya, Jacob Kufis, James Brian Balago, Jason De Dios, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, Jay Angel, JC Worley, Gene Carlos Capellan, Jeremiah Finley, Jesse Guerrero, Jehihi, Ahihi, JJ, Joe Velez, Joe Romig, Jolly Green Giant, Jordan Lynch, Jordy Marte, Joss B, Jose Ceja, Josh Musto, Josh Sutton, JR 2619, Judson Daniels, Juicy J, Justice, Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Justin Rivera, Caden Rivers, Kai Lone Star Jordan, Caleb, Capalot, Kansaku, Kuwaiti Rick Buggs, Kyrie Lawrence. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lauren Barker, Liam, Lil Shifu, Luis Aguilar, Luke Parker, Luke Sika, Manly Man, Marcus O'Quinn, Marnie YCSM, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Mossy, Max Dupree, Max Salazar, McQueen X, Mackay, Meredith Lee, Michael Purnell, Michael Paz, Michael Vera, Miguel Paredes, Mikey Rada, Michael X, Mitch, Muhammad Al-Banai. My dad left to go get a Finn Balor singles push. Nadim. That one hits harder after this episode of Raw. Nadim Maya, Nathaniel Stevenson, Nellen Zach, Nicholas Kyle, Nighthawk, Nino Ray, NyQuil Pad, Noah Burden, Obi Nobi, Oliver Hammonds, Osama Awad, P Up, Pat R, Pat McMark, P Brain, Peter Novak, Pimcaw, Preston Botter, Preston Smith, Frody, Puke 1904, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Reaper God, Ricardo Ramirez, Rick Mar 1R, Ricky Dutcher, Robert Holder, Robert Rogers, Rock Block CJ, Rocky B, Royce Ruffo, Ryback's favorite Cheeto, Riley, Ced Vega, Sam Duke, Sancho doesn't get a safe place, Sancho West Lip Balm, okay. Santi, Sancho Santi, Saudi Rick Buggs, Scotty Bear 92, Screamo Scott, Semba, Seymour Butts, Shaggy, Shane, Shadestain Nakamura, Simon Scareborn, CO, Sip God, Slowtoke Rodriguez, Solo, I love you, Solo, fuck you, Squirt Angle, Stephanie Vaquer, lookalike contest in my bedroom, Stephen Corby, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, Taco Bullfish, Taman Bryan, Tanner Cloudis, Taylor Moon, the final fucking boss, The Final Pebble, This Is Not a Safe Place, Timmy Fitzmaurice, Toasty Boy, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Trent Head, Two Belts, Tality, Tyler Free, Tyler Logan, Tyler McGarry, V Charles, Vegan Penguin, Vin Diesel is the only one who can beat Cena, Juan Pablo III, Where's the Referee, The Rock's Trying to Fuck Me, White Mexican, William Newton, Willie Cecil, WWE Undisputed Dumbasser, Nightmare, Xavier D. Lewis, Zach Zmira, Deadshot, Zach Griffin, Zach Hewitt, Zach Butcher, Zay2K, Zergzito, and Lord BBNJ. That is the most we've ever had, Sancho. So thank you to everybody that's been supporting us at this $15 tier, or even just watching for free. We do appreciate you as well, even though all you do is take and take and take and take. But we'll see you in the next one. You guys take care, be wonderful people, and goodbye.